What if the FNaF 1 animatronics followed Ennard's plan? Instead of staying as separate enemies throughout the entire week, Freddy decides to gather the gang and fuse together in order to steal Mike's body and escape into the human world. Sounds cool, right? But there are a few problems with that. For one, FNaF 1 animatronics are very low tech compared to sister location, so they would be a lot chunkier and harder to assemble and disassemble each other. Second, the FNaF 1 location doesn't have a scooper, so finding a way to empty out a person as effectively would not be an easy task. Third, the FNaF 1 animatronics don't have any of the abilities of Ennard, so they couldn't go in vents easily or use audio voices for trickery. Also, there would only be one animatronic, so the night guard would have a much less stressful fifth night. So, what did we learn? That the FNaF 1 animatronics using Ennard's plan is a stupid idea. What if Glamrock Mangle was in security breach? If Mangle was added to the Glamrocks as a fifth member of the band, then that would definitely complicate things. If we're talking about Ruin, she would be easily the primary threat if she were to be fully functional. The other animatronics in Ruin are scary, but not that hard to get away from. Monty is slow, Roxy is blind, kinda, and she could keep shitting on and off like a classic Microsoft SP. She wouldn't be too effective in the vents though because
This vent is creaky. I really hope it doesn't fall. No.
let's just say while Cassie might still be able to survive, it would definitely be more difficult. However, we can't say the same for Gregory. In the base game, the vents don't break down, so if Gregory was crawling in the vents, he can easily be chased by Mini Music Man on one end and Mangle on the other, and Gregory would be trapped with no way out, thus, we lose. What if the MXES program was Glitch Trap? To understand the context of this what-if scenario, the MXCS program is a security system presumably made by Cassie's dad in order to keep the Mimic trapped under the Pizzaplex. If Glitch Trap was able to find and take over MXCS before getting stabbed in Princess Quest, not only would he continue to have influence over the Pizzaplex, but he would instantly notice and find the Mimic, not to keep him trapped, but to free him and take control of his body as well, making it all the more easy to achieve world domination and child slaughter. What if the FNaF 2 animatronics followed Ennard's plan? No surprise, it's far less likely than the FNaF 1 animatronics version. Even if we were to exclude hallucination or glitch characters, the combination of all these animatronics in a human body would be absurd. I tried to make something that could work here, but since their endos don't have access to wires, it's always going to turn out something like this. I'm not even going to defend this abomination I didn't even intend to make. Also, a previous point of it only being one character, and since the majority get tricked by the Freddy mask, the AI could just overrun the puppet and Foxies, leading to an easy win with just the mask on for the whole night. Wonderful. Credit to Showy Show for this one. If you guys have any FNaF what-if ideas, comment them down below and I'll be sure to cover it. Take care. What if Michael Afton survived the FNaF 6 fire? If you think about the history between these characters and how certain events could have impacted their lives, it's all up to our individual headcanons how these characters are supposed to feel. And if we are able to get an understanding of that, then we are able to be more accurate on predicting their possible motivations. Michael Afton is the perfect example of the lesson the short is trying to point out. If Michael survived the fire, then he would become the next owner of Fazbear Entertainment. Now I know this sounds contradicting to what I said earlier, but hear me out. Because of his history, he wouldn't want anything to do with his father's work, so why would he take control? In order to make sure nothing can cause William's return. If Michael was in charge, he would do everything in his power to make sure William wouldn't find his way back. He wouldn't scan any suspicious circuit boards. He wouldn't create machines like the Mimic out of fear that old data could be discovered and manifested. And to top it all off, he would never want to make anything related to Freddy's ever again. He would abandon his father's work and turn the company into something new. What if William Afton didn't get spring-locked, one of the most key and crucial moments of the entire storyline, as in top 3 canon events crucial, but turned into an opposite direction? In this scenario, William wouldn't get spring-locked, either him avoiding the rain or just being very lucky. Although without that happening, FNaF would relatively be the same in terms of storyline. Baby and her gang would still form Scrap Baby and Molten Freddy, and the puppet would still be trapped in Lefty by Henry. The place would burn down and everyone died, including Michael, who died in that fire to set his sister free without getting revenge on his father. William takes all that time to perfect his immortality and pick up the remaining pieces, while his old business partner Henry is no longer in his way. William Afton has won, and gained the ultimate franchise empire to continue his crimes unpunished. What if Glamrock Bonnie was in Security Breach? In order for Bonnie to be active in the base game, then that would mean that Security Breach would have to take place at an earlier point in time. Everything would relatively be the same mostly, but there would be a gigantic difference with Monty. Monty isn't in the band yet, so he performs in a one-man band at an earlier version of Gator Golf. All of the Monty advertisement for the Pizzaplex would be for Bonnie instead, and he would be featured in Rockstar Row instead of Monty. However, since nothing separates Bonnie from the other Glamrocks, then he would also be taken over by the Mimic, and we would have 5 main animatronics to deal with. The Blob would still exist as well, so Security Breach could still be a very successful game, despite its much different setting. What if Gregory and Cassie swapped places within Security Breach? Let's cover Ruin first. If Gregory was in Ruin, things would play out exactly the same. Both protagonists are small but capable children. If Cassie can survive Ruin, then Gregory can as well. So Gregory would clear through it after the Mimic tricks him with Cassie's voice. Cassie, while not having as strong as a connection to Freddy, Freddy would still do everything he can to get Cassie through the Plex. Honestly, since they both have around the same capabilities, things wouldn't be very different, but it's fun to think about how Cassie would have gone against the Glamrocks. You think Cassie killing her favorite character is bad? Imagine going in a cart and running her over and pulling her eyes out to give to Freddy. Never mind how he feels, Cassie would have been miserable. What if the FNaF movie had a plot twist villain and it turned out to be...
I graded you, and you graded me.
Spider-Man, fuck this guy's ass.
What?
Yeah, fuck him up, come on.
What are you talking
Twist
about?
his dick.
Whoa.
What if Glamrock Freddy helped you in FNaF Ruin? Glamrock Freddy is found without his head in Phaser Blast, and since Freddy is alive in his head with Gregory and Vanessa, the Freddy we see in Ruin is nothing more than a lifeless husk that's being controlled by what's left of the Mimic when in program. If Freddy were in control and helped Cassie, then the game would be too easy. Despite not having a head, Freddy is far more functional than the other Glamrocks. The Glamrocks have suffered too much damage to be a threat unless they teamed up, which definitely doesn't happen. If the Mimic can be temporarily held back by Roxy, then Freddy should be able to take him on. While the Mimic may still be victorious, Freddy would definitely buy Cassie more than enough time to escape, just so she can still be dropped by Gregory.
You know what?
What if Vanessa simped for Gregory? Hey, yo, don't look at me like that, you're the one who clicked on this video.
Gregory, I think you deserve a reward. Go check the main stage.
What? What the fuck? Vanessa, are you trying to kill him or seduce him? What the hell was that? Gregory's just a child, Vanessa.
I'm just a kid.
I mean, I'm all for killing children, but I'm not an advocate for pedophilia.
Security alert! Security alert! Woo!